Hey, what's up, guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, there has still been a lot of concern regarding Maggie's character in The Walking Dead and her role in the future of the show, in the story, in the franchise. Some people are worried that she'll never return, that the actress, will never return. She basically had an exit in season 9. Well, she had an exit off screen. Her last episode was season 9, episode 5, and that was the last time we saw her. That's the last time we physically saw her. And then there was the 6-year time jump, and all we know is that she took Herschel Jr. and she went off and she went to go do things with Georgie and the twins, and she's still alive and she's still out there, and Jesus was sort of like the temporary leader, like the substitute teacher type thing, but Tara was telling him that it might be permanent, and it doesn't really seem like they knew when Maggie was going to return. And then, of course, Jesus died, so I guess there's going to have to be a new leader at the hilltop, a third leader at the hilltop. But, yeah, we don't know when Maggie's going to return. It seems like all the information we have is that Lauren Cohan, the actress that played Maggie, she had wanted a raise. She wanted more money than AMC was paying her, and AMC was not willing to pay her that money. The frustrating thing is that I feel like Lauren Cohan has not communicated with the fans enough. Like, she hasn't really, talked to us, talked to the fans of the character and the fans of The Walking Dead. And, I mean, what was the number? What was the amount that she wanted per episode? Was it a reasonable amount? Was it an unreasonable amount? Did she want a ridiculous amount of money that AMC did not need to pay her? Because, I mean, I understand, AMC does have a history of being cheap. I mean, a lot of problems with The Walking Dead could be blamed on the show's low budget. So she might have asked for just a decent, reasonable amount of money. It was her 8th year in a row. Season 9 would be her 8th consecutive year. So she might have been asking for a reasonable amount of money, and AMC, being the cheap bastards that they tend to be, did not want to pay her that money. Now, if she was asking for, say, millions and millions of dollars per episode, whatever amount that Norman Reedus makes or Andrew Lincoln was making, I believe those were the top two, Andrew Lincoln and Norman Reedus. If Lauren Cohan was asking for as much money as they were making, that would be kind of unreasonable. Like, if I know that she plays Maggie, but if she wanted to make the same money that Daryl was making, you have to understand, Maggie's not Daryl. Maggie is a very important character, and no, this is not a sex thing. It's not a sexist thing. It's not. It's just a fact. Maggie is not as important as Daryl. If they killed off Daryl, I think it would literally cause a riot. So many people would stop watching this show. I think The Walking Dead as a whole would crumble. The ratings, the fan base, it would all just crumble and go to shit if they got rid of Daryl. Even if Daryl left the show and didn't die, like Rick, I think that would be the final nail in the coffin. I mean, Rick left. If Daryl left, I think that would pretty much be the end of the show, and it would all just fall apart. Maggie's a different story. I'm sorry, but Maggie is simply not Daryl. I'm not the biggest Daryl fan. He's not in my top 5 favorite characters. He's probably not even in my top 10 or 15 favorite characters. But as a viewer, we've seen this character since season 1. It is really impossible for me to imagine The Walking Dead without Daryl. If The Walking Dead was a vehicle or a car, Daryl would be the engine. You just can't get rid of Daryl. The Walking Dead has to have Daryl. He's just a necessary ingredient. And again, I'm not saying that because he's one of my favorite characters. He's not. But I do feel that Daryl is more necessary than Maggie. But I did like Maggie, and I loved Lauren Cohan's performance, and I was really excited for her getting the rest of her comic material, and Maggie continuing to evolve and get stronger and get better and better as a leader and getting all of her comic stuff. But I mean, the show has been doing okay with the last few episodes, and she hasn't been in them. So it seems like The Walking Dead can do well without Maggie. I would prefer Maggie to be in the show. I mean, again, I wish I knew what Lauren Cohan was asking for. How much money did she want per episode? Was she being reasonable or not? You know, who's the real bad guy here? Is it AMC for being the cheap bastards that they've been in the past? Or was she just asking for as much money as Norman Reedus and they said no? But we do know that she's the main star, along with Scott Foley, on this new show. It's like a black comedy or something. It's called Whiskey Cavalier. I think that starts airing soon. And depending on whether or not that show gets canceled or whether or not it gets a second season, that'll affect the chances of Maggie returning to The Walking Dead. So I think that if Whiskey Cavalier gets a second season, then Maggie will not return in season 10, possibly. But if Whiskey Cavalier gets canceled, that might help Maggie's chances of returning. That might, you know, improve the chances of Lauren Cohan returning to The Walking Dead. Now, I don't know how much she's making at Whiskey Cavalier. I mean, that doesn't seem like a $1 billion show to me. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's ever going to be as much of a hit as something like The Walking Dead. It just seems like one of those stupid little black comedy shows that most people don't watch, and then it just kind of goes away after a year or two. I don't know. I mean, there's shows like The Big Bang Theory and Two and a Half Men that are comedies, but they last a long time. So, I mean, I guess Whiskey Cavalier has the potential to be one of those shows, but there's so many shows out there in history that are just like little comedies, and they get 1 year and they get canceled. There's so many shows. The chances of a little show like that getting canceled are much higher than a show like that getting renewed for a second season. The chances of Whiskey Cavalier getting a second season are slim. I mean, if the actors do a really good job, if the story is good and well written and it has the fan base, it could get a second season. But I wouldn't be surprised if it gets canceled after the first season. What I'm wondering is, I mean, they must have offered Lauren Cohan something that The Walking Dead did not offer her. I guess maybe it was more money or something. I mean, how much of a budget does that little show have? I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating the network that's, I don't know, is it Fox or something? I'm not sure which network is airing Whiskey Cavalier, which network that show is under. I should probably find that out before making this video. But yeah, I have a feeling Whiskey Cavalier could easily get canceled after the first full season. I believe it's getting a full first season, and then they're going to see how it's doing. But if it gets canceled, that might help the odds of Lauren Cohan coming back to The Walking Dead, because I personally really hope that Maggie comes back in season 10. The Walking Dead needs Maggie. I mean, it doesn't need her like it needs Daryl, but I mean, you know, as far as like the comic material and stuff like that, I really do wish Maggie would come back. You know, I mean, they left the door open for her to come back, and if she's never going to come back, they have to like kill her off screen, and what are they going to do with Herschel Jr.? You know, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of a mess. And I wish we weren't in this situation in the first place. If Lauren Cohan wasn't asking for a ridiculous amount of money, if she was just asking for a reasonable amount of money, I wish AMC gave it to her so we wouldn't be dealing with this mess. I mean, I wish The Walking Dead had Rick and Maggie, but at least one of them. I mean, geez, I don't know. It's just kind of frustrating. And yeah, I mean, golly, I wish they kept Abraham or something. I mean, I have a feeling that if the showrunners knew what they know now about Rick and Maggie not being on the show anymore, maybe they wouldn't have killed Abraham. Maybe we'd still have Abraham in the mix. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I'm hoping that Maggie returns in season 10. I just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Whiskey Cavalier got canceled, and if it does, maybe that'll improve the chances of Maggie returning. What I'm hoping for is that Lauren Cohan and AMC, they come to some sort of agreement. Like, they meet each other halfway or something. Like, she agrees to, you know, come back for season 10 under these circumstances, under that, or under this or that. Or, you know, maybe AMC is like, look, we know that a lot of fans miss your character, and we've gotten a lot of heat about that, about not paying you the money that you asked for. So we'll pay you this much if you can come back to season 10. Offer her a decent amount of money. Again, I don't know how much she asked for per episode. I mean, if she asked for $50 million an episode, then yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, what are you going to do with all that money? You're just playing a character on the show. You're not even, 10, 20 years, and then you can retire for life. You don't need to ask for a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, most people are never going to make that much money, so you should just be happy with what you get. If you make enough money so that you can be comfortable when The Walking Dead is over, then you should probably just be happy with that. But again, I don't know how much she was making in the past. I don't know how much money she was asking for. But like I said, what I'm hoping for is that she and AMC can, they take what happened with season 9 and the fallout of that. They take that into consideration with season 10, and they meet each other halfway. Just some sort of halfway solution that means that we'll get Maggie back in season 10. Season 10, season 11, season 12. Just some sort of solution that'll mean that they can have the character come back and Lauren Cohan is okay with returning to the show. I mean, I hope she does it for her fans, and I hope she does it for fans of Maggie and fans of The Walking Dead. I mean, we haven't done anything wrong. It's not our fault AMC didn't pay her the money that she wanted. We're not AMC, so I hope that she considers that too. And if they're paying her $2 an episode, I understand her decision to leave. But I also hope that if they do start paying her a decent amount of money, she agrees to it, and that way we can get our Maggie back. That would be the best solution. So in a way, I do kind of hope that Whiskey Cavalier gets canceled because, I mean, who cares about that little stupid comedy? It just seems like a cliche little comedy that no one's going to remember a year from now. It just seems like one of those. And there's so many shows that are like that. But yeah. And who knows, maybe it's a unique show or some shit. Maybe it's the next Mad Men or something. I don't know. But yeah, I do hope that we get Maggie back in The Walking Dead Season 10. I really do hope so. Hopefully that'll work out. But yeah. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day. So please hit that subscribe button. Right now we are at 321 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 400 in the next few months. So we are getting there. Just remember, every subscriber counts. Every bit of support matters and is very, very appreciated. Anyway, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.